Hey, welcome. Today, we're diving into something that, let's be honest, pretty much everyone struggles with at some point. Using some amazing insights from the heart of the matter, the power of self-forgiveness, we're going to tackle a huge question. How do you finally let go of self-blame? So let me just start by asking you this. Have you ever felt just completely trapped by regret? You're just stuck replaying a mistake over and over and over in your head. If that sounds familiar, you are so not alone. It's such a heavy feeling, and today we're going to figure out how to finally put that weight down. All right, so if we're going to break free from that trapped feeling, we first have to understand the trap itself. And that brings us right here to the self-blame cycle. This is the why. This is the machine that explains exactly why we get so stuck in the first place. So, what is this cycle, really? Well, think of it less like a bad mood and more like a hamster wheel. It's this nonstop, repetitive pattern of guilt and regret that just keeps on spinning. And the key part right here is that it's not just about feeling bad. It's a loop that actively stops us from growing and moving on. You're just stuck running in place, going nowhere. And this slide, wow, it really just lays out the two different roads you can take. I mean, look at the left side. That's the road of self-blame. It's all about stagnation, emotional distress, and just constantly punishing yourself. But then look to the right. The second you decide to let go, you open up this entirely different path, one that leads to growth, resilience, and real self-improvement. The choice couldn't be clearer. So what's fueling this whole cycle anyway? Where does all that blame come from? Well, a huge piece of the engine is this massive society-wide pressure to be perfect, which, as we're about to see, is a completely unattainable ideal. And this pressure, it's coming at us from all sides. You've got societal expectations setting these invisible goals for what success should look like. Then you've got family expectations. We put enormous pressure on ourselves, right? And then there's social media, which is basically a nonstop highlight reel of everyone else's perfect life, just feeding us this false story that makes us feel like we're the only ones messing up. And the result of all that pressure is this. We get stuck in this constant, exhausting performance. We're always grappling with this need to present a flawless, perfect image to everybody else. It feels like we have to wear a mask to hide our mistakes and our imperfections. And that internal battle, man, it just drains all our energy. It all sounds pretty intense, doesn't it? Which, of course, leads to the most important question of all. So, how in the world do you break free from all of this pressure? And the answer, the central idea we really have to wrap our heads around, is captured perfectly in this quote. Our flaws do not define us. They are merely part of our unique journey. Just let that sink in for a second. Your mistakes aren't some permanent brand on who you are. They're just signposts on the road. Okay, so if mistakes are just part of the journey, how do we actually start treating them that way? Well, that leads us to the solution, embracing your imperfections. And this isn't about being weak. This is the true path to becoming resilient. And this, right here, is the first, most crucial step. It's about accepting a basic truth. Everybody has flaws. Everybody makes mistakes, no exceptions. Once you really let that in, you stop feeling so isolated in your shame, and you start to realize you're just part of the shared human experience. And that is the real doorway to self-compassion. This shift in perspective is a total game changer. Instead of seeing a mistake as this dead end, this reason to feel ashamed, you can reframe it. Ask yourself, what if this isn't a failure, but an opportunity, a chance to learn something new, to develop, and to become a stronger version of myself? Okay, so we've shifted our thinking from flaws as failures to flaws as opportunities. Now, how do we actually put that into practice? Let's get into some real actionable tools for healing, all centered on this idea of self-compassion. So what even is self-compassion? Honestly, it's beautifully simple. It's just treating yourself with the exact same kindness, concern, and support that you would automatically give to a good friend. Think about it. When your friend messes up, you don't tear them down. You listen, you support them. Self-compassion is just turning that same instinct inward. Simple idea, but yeah, not always so easy to do. This slide is like a before and after picture of your inner voice. On the left, you've got that harsh, punishing language, I always mess up. But just look at the shift on the right. It becomes a gentle, forward-looking thought. I am learning and growing. Or you go from I should have known better to the powerful affirmation that I am worthy despite my mistakes. This is the internal work that changes literally everything. Now, to make this whole process feel way less intimidating, we can break it down into 4 clear steps. Number 1, acknowledge the mistake. You can't heal something you won't even look at. 2, practice self-compassion. That's the antidote to shame. 3, you got to actively challenge those negative thoughts when they pop up. And finally, 4, reflect and learn. Find the lesson hiding inside the mistake. It's a clear roadmap to get you out of that cycle. And to help with that final reflection step, here are some incredibly helpful things you can do. Journaling is great for getting all those chaotic thoughts out of your head and onto paper so you can actually see them. Meditation can help you just watch your thoughts without judging them, which takes away their power. And of course, talking things through with a trusted friend can give you a fresh perspective that you just can't find on your own. So, after all this work, the reframing, the compassion, the reflection, where does it all lead? It leads right here, to the path of real, genuine growth, and to the amazing, fulfilling future that you are building for yourself. Because at the end of the day, this is why it all matters so much. Letting go of that heavy self-blame isn't just about feeling a little bit better. It's about unlocking the door you thought you were trapped behind. It literally opens the way to a more vibrant, more meaningful, and just plain more fulfilling life. And what do you get for taking on this tough journey? A deeper, more authentic sense of who you really are. Healthier relationships that are built on empathy, not on the pressure to be perfect. A much greater ability to bounce back from whatever life throws at you next. And a real, lasting personal transformation. The work is absolutely 100% worth the reward. So I want to leave you with one final thought, a direct invitation to get started. Just take all of this in and ask yourself this one simple question. What is one mistake, big or small, that you will choose to forgive yourself for starting right now, today? The entire path forward begins with that single choice.